Hi, welcome to the fourth tutorial on Sawyer. In this tutorial, I'll be talking to you about creating a workspace. Once you've created this workspace, you should be able to, or you should have all the files necessary to work with the robot. Before I begin, I would recommend that anybody watching this video to go through the ROS tutorials in ros.org. This is because most of the tutorials after this would be in ROS, and a basic understanding of ROS would be needed. Now let's begin. Workstation setup is quite easy to do, as Rethink Robotics provides a step-by-step guide for the setup. The easiest way to find this setup is to go and type Sawyer tutorial in Google and select any link that says stk-rethinkrobotics.com. After this, go on to Installation and Configuration and select Workstation Setup. The first step is to make sure that the workstation meets the required hardware specification. Next is to install Ubuntu and then install ROS. You could do this by making Ubuntu your primary OS, or you could dual boot. Another option you have is to install it in a virtual machine. If you are a Middlesex student, you have two options available. One is to either have a virtual machine, or the second is to use the computer that has already been configured for Sawyer. If you're using a virtual machine, then there are already files available which has Ubuntu and ROS installed, and you can just copy these files and paste it in your computer to use them. The last part is to create a workspace. This is the folder where all of the required scripts and packages are stored. In this workspace, you can also create your own package so that you store all your scripts that you created for Sawyer, or you could even create a different workspace and store the scripts there. While creating the workspace, I would recommend to change the workspace name to something like Sawyer_WS rather than ROS_WS. This is because other installations also usually have their workspace named as ROS_WS, and if the name isn't changed, then all of the packages from Sawyer and from other different installations would be in one folder, making it difficult to use and navigate through. If you do decide to change the name, make sure that you change them on every command that you put into the terminal. After creating the workspace, install the Intera Robot SDK and the setup should be complete. The last part of the web page installation guide is to configure communication with the robot. This will be covered in the next tutorial. If you're comfortable, you can follow the instructions in the installation guide and complete the installation. If help is needed, ask one of the robotics lecturers. And if you're using the configured workstation, then you can skip this tutorial and the next, as the computer has already been configured.